So a little update from yesterday. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to Newtown Creek. I was on intention, but just as I was coming out into Southampton Water, there was like a little knocking noise at 2000 revs, which I'm not an engineer, and I'd actually put the anodes on the prop shaft, which isn't really a big job. So I thought to myself, maybe one of the anodes had come loose and it was knocking, something like that, or I don't know. But basically I turned around and come back to the sailing club. Luckily the water was still high enough and the hoist was going, so they amazingly just lifted me straight out, had a quick look at it, realised it wasn't the anodes, or the propeller was all good, and I ended up staying but just on the pontoon. Decided I wanted to sort the water tank out, which is under here, because for some reason these bits here, I keep getting water in there. It seems when the boat went in the hoist, I don't know where there was water, but something was moving around and it wasn't salt water, it was fresh water. So I decided to take the tank out, and there's the pump guard. So it was obviously the tank's not there at the moment. I thought maybe it was leaking from there. Cleaned out underneath. The tank's under here. I can't be asked to take it out, but amazingly these boats, I didn't realise the water tanks come out really easy, and it's actually just on the deck at the moment. You can see through it. It's like my lovely view. Instead of the ships, I can look inside my water tank. So I thought I'd clean that out. The little nozzle, you can see like that one there, one on the other end, has come off. So I've basically, where's it gone actually? Ordered a couple of new ones. Here's the end of it, that snapped off, but I got a feeling that might have actually been leaking, and that was hence there was water coming out. And when the boat went in the crane hoist, it sort of went at different angles and the water went in there. So there's something going on. Water's coming into the boat through the freshwater system, so I'm going to try and chase that back later. But at the moment I'm just playing around with the wire and just getting to know everything. I've got this old system here, excuse if that offends anyone, that's not my sticker, that's not the previous owner, the owner for that. It says bollocks to Brexit, which is a bit outdated now, but anyway, that's another story. But this thing powers up, it's some sort of communication thing, I don't really know. And then it's got that. I will say though, it's obsolete, isn't it? I mean, look at this thing, that's a Mitsubishi 512 kb, so I think that's half a megabyte of information. You look at the bloody size of it, half a megabyte. So that in its own tells me this thing is massively dated, because you'd get like, God knows how much on that, but you'd get a hell of a lot more information on that now. So I'm probably going to take this off. I will put it on eBay, because you never know, someone might want it. I've got a new radio to fit, and I've got a new AIS transponder, so I'm gonna look at upgrading all this and contemplating. I sort of like that, but they're switches, they're not breakers, so I'm contemplating actually upgrading all of this at some point and putting like a proper breaker board on there. And then I have got the old school radar still, which does actually work, so I'm not sure what I want to do with that, because if I upgrade all this and I've got a big hole for the radar, I don't know at what point I want to get a new one, or whether I'm really going to use it. So I'm thinking of having all this and maybe having that on a mount, which you can get, and then the mount can be adjustable, something like that. But all the wiring, it's not horrendous, but it definitely needs a bit of sorting out, because it's had bits adding to it. So I'm going to get some new terminals. I'm going to slowly put like for a proper negative bus bar on there with ring terminals, so it's all a bit neater, and yeah, just generally tidy it up. That's the plan anyway, but I mean, we'll see how it works out. But either way, it's good to know what's doing what on the boat, and if there's a problem with anything, you know exactly where to look instead of scratching your head. So yeah, so I'll mess around with that today. there's no wind to go sailing anywhere, so there's no point motoring. And this is the boat basically. It's a Dela 36. Not the most conventional layout, but I like it. It's got like the linear galley. You can fit lots of people around there for sitting. And then you've got, sorry, it's a bit of a mess, but there you go. And then you've got the forward sleeping bit there, and extra heads there, which I'm not going to use because it hasn't got a one of those things where you put a bend in the waist, so the water will just come in if you leave the seacocks open, which isn't ideal. So I don't tend to use that one. Microwave there. It's very they're not for everyone, these boats, but I like them. You've got the toilet in there. This is all nice. This is not an official boat tour, so I'll maybe do another one at some point. And you got, that's very messy in there, but you've got a big double bedroom in there. So I've got loads of jobs to do on this boat, and they all take a lot longer than you think they're going to take. So anyway, I thought I'd just do a little video. I'm going to play around with that for a bit, and I'll maybe do another video. Cheers.